So as you can see now, what we have now is that manipulation. So by then looking at these are the contents. These are what we are going to learn. Are you seeing it? From A to Z, these are what we are going to learn. Yes, we might not be able to finish all today, but I just want to promise us at the end of this particular course, you guys are going to know the basic principles of that. Do you understand? We are going to be have the knowledge of what that is all about. Here I ask this question: what is that? Are you saying it? Here is what is the function of that. Then this one is types of that. How many of us know that do have types? Do you guys know? Yes, we have types of that. Do you understand? Now we have the waist that, which is the number one almost all of you use every time. You use the waist that on your upper bodies. Do you understand? That one that comes there and comes there. You guys usually use it on your upper bodies. Let me show you guys an example of what a waist that is all about. Okay, so this is an example of a waist that. Are you seeing it? How many of you, is there anybody here that doesn't know this, that have never seen this that before? So this is a waist that. Why? Because it's situated at the waist area. Do you understand? Now another waist that is also, this is a waist that for an upper bodies. Do you understand? Now, but let's say it is a blouse, total blouse, full blouse. If you notice, this one is stopping at the half length. If it is a full blouse, sometimes this thing used to be like a how do I call it? Like there should be another V here at the down. Do you understand? That is the upper waist that and the lower waist that. The upper waist that is from the half length going towards the bust area, while the lower waist that is from the half length going towards the hip area. Do you understand? That one goes, you see it on the skate. Do you understand? You see it on the skate. Now look at it. If you can see this very well, there is a dart here. Are you seeing it? This is a lower waist dart. Okay, so that is the commonest dart that almost everybody knows. Do you understand? Okay, so the second one is the French dart. I know most of us don't know French dart, but okay, I'm going to be explaining it. Now let me show you guys, for example. I'm still going to explain this thing very well. Let me show you guys an example of what a French dart is. Okay guys, now look at it. See the waist that I told you guys, from here down to here. Are you seeing it? That is the waist dart. Now there's something I always want you to know. There's what we call the apex point, or the pivot point. Another name for apex point or pivot point is what? Who can tell me? I need my students to crack their brain. Who can tell me? It's just an English word, but apex point, pivot point. What is another name? Simplest name you can ever use for apex point or pivot point?
Midpoint or
midpoint. You tried, but you use normal English. I mean, the context is on like a normal bodies like this you are seeing. Which point on this particular thing is that apex point? Tell me. The bust point. Do you understand? That bust point, that is, look at it, from here to here is your bust span, but so this is the bust line. You see this point, this is where all of them are meeting. That is the apex point. The pivot point means at that, let's say example now I want to be rotating this thing and I put a pin here and I keep turning it. That is pivoting. Do you understand? As I'm turning, so that is the apex point. Do you understand? You can also call it the bust point. Okay, now you guys know that all the darts, they are going towards the apex point, they are going towards the bust point. Do you understand? Now, but when you want to draft a dart, you don't start directly from the apex point. Hope you guys know that, so as to avoid a sharp edge. Do you understand? We sometimes we start 1 inch, 3/4 inch or half inch before the apex point. Do you understand? Let's say example now we want to do a waist dart. We start from here. You see it, from here to here, that is 1 inch before. Do you understand? Okay, now look at it. This is the waist. Now which one is the French? Which one is the French? Now look at the French here. Are you seeing it? The French usually comes by the side. Are you seeing it? But remember, all of them are going towards the apex point. Now look at it. This is the edge. Now step up with 1 inch from the half length. Step up with 1 inch. Now take it directly towards the apex point. Do you understand? Please make sure you don't reach here exactly. Stop 1 inch before. That is the French dart. You guys understand now? By the side, this is the half length. Are you seeing it? Now if this part is the down side, the edge, go up with how many? 1 inch. Now take it towards the apex point. That one is the French dart. So I'm going to be very fast on this because we don't have much time. Okay, the bust dart. Almost all of us here know the bust dart, but okay, now look at the bust dart. Bust dart is mostly 2 inches below the armhole length. Do you understand? Now that 2 inches below the armhole length can directly mean the point where you put your bust measurement. Now look at it. For this particular person, if you notice from here to here is estimatedly 2 inches, but Okay, now that doesn't mean it can just go down by 2 inches. It depends on where the person's bust length is. Now if you notice, this is the bust line for this person. So what is bust dart? Bust dart is from here. Are you seeing it? From here, go directly towards the apex point. Do you understand? Make sure you stop 1 inch before the apex point. That is what we call bust dart. So this thing I'm showing you guys are positions of different types of darts. So now let's get to the next one. So this one is the center front bust dart. So by me looking at this, which one is the center front? Center front is this side. Are you seeing it? Where you place your material on fold. This is the center front. Look at it, where you can find the neck. So this is what, whenever you hear center front, be looking out towards the side, not towards the side. Are you seeing it? This one is the side front. Now this is the center front. So now we are talking about the center front bust dart. It's simple now. Now look at it. This is the bust line. Are you seeing it? So from here towards the bust point, that is the apex point, make sure you stop at 1 inch before the apex point. Remember I said you can stop 1 inch, you can stop half inch, you can stop 3/4 inch, you can even stop 5/8 inch before the bust point. Do you understand? It just depends. Center front waist dart, center front waist dart. Now look at it. We are talking about anything center front is here. Do you understand? Anything center front is here. Now look at it, center front waist. Look at our original waist dart. Are you seeing it? So look at the center front. Are you seeing? Center front is more like at the edge. Now look at it. This is a complete pattern. Are you seeing it? When you come to this edge at the half length, this front, center front side. Now go towards the apex point. Are you seeing it? That is the center front waist dart. Do you understand? So if you notice, all these things are marked like this. I'm just kind of representing all the darts at the same time. Do you understand? Okay, center front neck dart is still the same thing. Whenever we are talking about center front, it's all about here. Do you understand? So from this particular edge, are you seeing it? Go towards the apex point. That is center front neck dart. So which next? Mid neck dart. Okay, according to its name, you guys are already supposed to know where the position of that mid neck is. Mid neck literally means middle part of the neck, the middle point on the neck. So what is which one is the neck? Look at the neck from here to here. Are you seeing it? So when you divide it into two, you find the middle part. Are you seeing it? So take it towards the apex point. Make sure you stop at 1 inch, half inch, or 3/4 inch before the apex point. Look at it. That is this particular one. Mid shoulder. Okay, the same thing. According to your question, you will say, okay, the mid part of the shoulder is from this side, but that is not it. When we are placing our material for drafting, this is the mid part of the shoulder. The mid part of the shoulder we are talking about is after you have finished drafting the neck, the distance from here to here. When you get to the middle point, that is the middle part of the shoulder. Are you seeing? So take it from here down to the apex point, 1 inch, half inch, 3/4 inch, or 5/8 inch before the apex point or before the bust point. That is the mid shoulder dart. So let's get to the shoulder tip dart. Shoulder tip dart. Okay, I think unfortunately we did not do it here. Shoulder tip dart is here. You guys already know the tip of your shoulder, but tip of the shoulder is here. But okay, so look at it. Any dart that is coming from here towards the bust point is the shoulder tip dart. So if I may represent it here, this is actually the shoulder tip dart. Look at it from here. If you are coming towards the apex point, are you seeing it? Towards the apex point, 1 inch before. Remember, that is the shoulder tip dart. So guys, after the shoulder tip dart, the next is the mid armhole dart. So by now looking at it, we already know where the mid armhole is. If this is your armhole, the mid part is around there. Do you understand? You take it towards the bust point. Now, who can tell me which kind of dress or which kind of pattern can you use, pattern style can you use this mid dart to get? Can somebody tell me? Princess dart. Now, are you guys noticing something? All these darts can be used for a specific pattern style. All these darts. Now, what I mean by they can be used for a specific pattern style is they can be used for straight that bust here. They can be used for shoulder that bust here. Which one is shoulder that bust here? Is it not the mid shoulder? That is the mid shoulder. Which one is the straight that bust here? The one you people do. Which one in this dart can we use to get the straight that bust here? The one you do. Bust dart is majorly the mid neck dart. Check it very well. It's the mid neck. Your bustier, check it, it usually wants to go towards the middle part of the neck. You understand? Except you cut your neck in a different way. Yes, it usually goes towards the middle part of, so it's the middle. So by me looking at this, notice that all these dots, we can apply it on different styles, different designs. Do you understand? So we are getting to that. We are getting to that particular one. Now, like I say, we are going to be working on dot manipulation, and we also have different dot manipulation techniques. We have the one we call the slash and spread, and we have the one we call the pivot. Don't worry, I'm going to explain all of them. Do you understand? But before we do all those things, now look at here, using that manipulation to create great styles and designs. Do you guys know what this one is related to? It's just like the question I asked you guys now. Using all these dots, we use it to create different styles. Do you know that these dots, you can use it to create a shoulder that bustier? You can use it to create a princess that bustier. You can use it to create a normal shoulder that bodice that is not bustier. You guys understand what I mean? Okay, bustier means the one that has contour. Contour is for bustier. Let's get to this first of all before we explain that manipulation, because before you talk about that manipulation, you need to know what that is. Remember, these are two words, that and manipulation. Some people can just literally tell you it is manipulating that. Do you understand? I don't find it wrong. You understand? It's just that I want you to explain more. I will tell you, explain more. How? Explain. Let me understand. Okay, so let's get to basic principles of that. So I'll be very, very brief with this particular one. Basic principles of that. Then I say, truly understanding how that works and everything about that is a vital part of dressmaking. What this basic principle is trying to tell you that? It's trying to tell you the essence of that. Do you understand? Not literally the function. It's trying to tell you that in fashion designing is like a very big topic. Do you understand? It's trying to tell you that we cannot do without that whenever we are making fitted dresses. We cannot do without that whenever we are making nice patterns and nice styles. Do you understand? That is so much important. We all know that every fitted dress that is not made of stretchy fabric must have a that. Since we need that on a dress to have a better fitting, therefore that's are a powerful tool of every dressmaker or fashion designer. That's what this principle is just trying to learn. So the thing will now lead us to what is a dart. Okay, who can tell me what is a dart? This one is very simple now. Uche, what is a dart? Fitting we give to our dress. Okay, you try very, very well. Who else can give me a better definition? Okay, without wasting time, they say when you remove excess fabric on a dress for a better fitting, that is simply called darting. I will explain further. First of all, I said when you remove excess fabric on a dress for a better fitting. When you remove excess fabric, they did not say you should just remove excess fabric just for no reason. No, when you remove excess fabric, in order to make a dress look nice on somebody's body, do you know what it is called? It is called darting. Let me give you for an instance. Come, let me use you as an example. Okay, now look at this her clothes. Is it too free? It is not, but someone can say that it is not fitted. Now here, is it fitted? Here is fitted. Can't you see? Here is fitted. Here might not be too fitted, but let's say here is fitted, here is fitted. Someone can say that the waist still needs to be held in order for it to give the full shape. Do you understand? And some people will hold it this way. Look at it. Some people will hold it this way. Are you seeing it? Some people will come and hold it this way. Are you seeing it? Some people will come and hold it this way. Are you seeing it? Some people will hold it this way. So trying to hold it at all these different positions, whichever position you tend to hold it, that is what we call what? Darting. Do you understand? This is the literal definition of darting. Darts. I don't want you guys to misunderstand it. Anytime you want to sew something on your dress to add fitting to already existing fitting, you actually darting. It doesn't really matter. Remember what I said. I can reduce the fabric from here. Are you seeing it? This one is going towards the bust pan. Are you seeing it? I can reduce it from here. It is darting. Do you understand? I can reduce it from the side. It is darting, provided you are altering the original shape of the dress. Now I can do it from here. Do you understand? That is what darting is all about. That's what I want you guys to know. Okay, a dart is mostly recognized by its triangular shape on the pattern piece. However, that can also take other shapes. Now look at what I mean here. A dart is mostly recognized by its triangular shape. Now what do they mean by triangular? Look at it. If this is the west that you normally see that when we have our line here, we also mark out half here, mark out half here. Are you seeing it? We do something like this and we do something like this. This is the triangular we are talking about. Now I say that it can also take other shapes. Do you understand? Sometimes you notice that that also take this shape. When you, instead of you measuring this, putting this half here and putting this half here, we go ahead to put the half here, put the half here. When we get to this part, we take it straight. When we get to this part, we take it straight. You could have seen that kind of that bar. Instead of coming all the way from half length to the what is this point? To the bust point, instead of coming all the way like this triangular to the bust point, sometimes from the under bust you take half here, take half here, take it triangular, take it triangular, then go straight here. So instead of having this shape all together, look at it, instead of having this shape all together, sometimes you see it having this shape. Are you seeing it? So it can have different shapes, do you understand? But we know the major shape that we usually see. So now, functions of that. Why do we put that on our dress? I think you guys can be able to answer this thing easily. I'm just trying to make it more understandable. If not, we have already answered this particular question. So why do we put that? The purpose of a dart is to create a shape to accommodate the curves of the wearer, of a dress wearer. Remember what I said? The purpose of a dart is to create shape to accommodate the curves of the dress wearer. If I can make a dress, if I can make your dress to be your exact body shape, it means that there is a dart on that dress. I've darted it. So the essence of me putting a dart is to make sure that when you wear the clothes, it will give you your perfect and exact shape. Not when you wear it, there will be some, you know, errors on some certain parts based on your shape. No, if it can give you your whole perfect shape, that means there is a perfect darting. That's what I really want you guys to understand. Do you understand? So whenever you hear that, what should be going through your mind is the word fitting. Whenever you want to achieve a better fitting, you cannot do any other thing rather than doing what? Darting. Provided the material is not actually a stretching material that can give shape at any time, depending. So a dart adds great fitting to a dress. Remember what I said now? I say darting excess fabric to create shape. That means when you are darting excess fabric to create shape, there are three main principles it follows. Number one is what we call the dart manipulation, the one we already know. Do you understand? One we have already written. There's one we have not written here. This one is called adding fullness, and the other one is called contouring. Do you understand? I've mentioned contour here. Do you understand? Okay. Now let's explain these things. Now this will now lead us to explaining what dart manipulation is, okay. So now we have known about that, the functions of a dart. So we now need to know what dart manipulation is. It's one of the principles we use in darting. That is dart manipulation. Okay. So what is dart manipulation? If I may drop this book, I can just keep this book like this. Please, anybody that cannot explain something without looking inside the book or without trying to say it exactly how it is in a textbook, you don't really know that thing. You only crammed it. Do you understand? So whenever you are learning something, try to learn it in your language. Try to learn it so that even when you are sleeping, somebody wakes you up, say wake up, oh, what is that manipulation? You can be able to answer it, whether in Yoruba, whether in Igbo, whether in Hausa, or whether through explanation, even if you don't know how to speak English. Can be able to explain it. Say I cannot define it this way, but if I'm to explain what it is all about, it is when you do this, when you do this, when you do this. Do you understand? That is what that thing literally means, that you know that thing very, very well. So what is that manipulation? Like I said, some persons will say it is manipulating that. That is not well defined. Obviously we all know that. It's not like you just take the two words and you repeated it again. Do you understand? So you need to change the manipulation so that people will understand what because not everybody knows what manipulation is. The only manipulation now you know is how to make somebody do one thing or the other without, you understand, how to, like human being manipulation. It's still related though, but let's leave that. So you need to explain it in a simple way that everybody will understand. What is that manipulation? That manipulation can simply mean taking one dart from a particular position to another place, another position. Is the transfer of that from one position to the other in order to have a better fitting. That manipulation can literally mean manipulating the dart, but that is manipulating the dart is like playing with the dart. Okay, changing its position in order to achieve a better fit and the style. Please always put that style too, because it's not just about fitting, it's also about style. I will explain to you people what I mean by the style. You can manipulate the dart starting with either the upper dart or the lower dart. Now when it comes to dart manipulation, you must not use only the waist dart to manipulate that. No, you can use any of the darts, but the two major darts that we know is the lower, which is the waist dart, and the upper, which is mostly the mid shoulder dart. You can use these two darts to manipulate every other dart on a dress. I'm going to be explaining it step by step in this particular class before we even go to anything drafting. So like I said, you can use this one to manipulate to get this one. You can use it to manipulate to get any of this. I'm going to be explaining it step by step here. You can also use this upper one and leave this one. Now in most cases whereby some people use the upper one is when the down is having a contour. I've still said the same contour here. Do you understand? I will explain it. Okay, the principles, ba? Okay. Adding fullness and contouring, ba? Okay, now let me explain these things. I've explained that manipulation, but is there anyone that does not literally know the meaning of that manipulation? You might not know it practically like per se, but literally you guys know what that manipulation is. Okay, so now let me explain what adding fullness is. Let me differentiate it between adding fullness and the contouring. Do you understand? Okay, now let me explain it. Now let's say you want to use mid armhole dart to create a pattern dress. Now this is it. Look at it. This is it. Okay, this is it. Okay, now look, mid armhole is at the middle part of the armhole bar. Now from here to here is our bust span bar. Okay, so from here to this is the bust length. Now from here to here, are you seeing it is the middle part? Then there is another dart. Are you seeing the dart now? Okay, now completion, the armhole. Okay, and I have something like this. Okay, now remember this thing that we have here. If you want to apply that here also, I'm applying two darts now. You see, people can see mid armhole dart, but now let's get another dart. Where's that? That is it. There are two darts here, mid armhole and the waist dart. Okay, now looking at it now, we have formed the princess dart, but yes, we have formed the princess dart. Look at it very well. Now let's do another one. Now let's look at both of these. Who can tell me the difference between this one and this one? This is a bustier. You try. This is a bustier. It must not be a bustier though. The only thing that will make it a bustier, that's the one that have cup, is when the dart is big. Do you understand? When the dart is big. But you are right also. Who can tell me the difference between this one and this one? See, whenever I say tell me the difference, you might say this is a bustier and this is, you understand? Always talk about both of them. I extended the armhole of this one. It's still the same thing. It's still, whenever you expand something, armhole officially extends. So you will know that one. Whenever you open a dart and expand something, the armhole, obviously one part of the armhole extends. Yes, so who can tell me
the shape of the dart?
The shape of the dart, that is the major thing I want to hear. The shape of the dart. Thank you, God bless you. So shape of the, if you notice, both of them are almost the same thing. We have waist dart here, we have mid armhole dart, we have waist dart, we have mid armhole dart. But when you look at both shapes, they are not the same. This one is a basic dart on both sides, which means, now look, when you wear this one and when you wear this one, which one is going to give you more fitting? Why is it giving you more fitting? Because there is fitting on the bust and on the under bust. That is to show that whenever you curve it this way, it makes the clothes become your perfect body shape. Do you understand? Whenever you put it this way, it also gives you a good body shape, but it is not perfect. It will even give you extra allowance on the dress. Do you understand? When you wear this one will carry your bust and the end here, then continue. When you wear this one will also be wear, but there will be extra space here. That extra space, some people might want to use it for extra thing. Now look, let me define this thing. This one you are seeing is what we call contouring. If you like, go and check what contouring is. It can be, even the normal English can be able to understand what contouring is. Okay, now this one is what we call the what? Adding fullness. Okay, now let me physically explain what the adding contouring is and fullness. I'm coming. So let me first of all define this contouring. This is the removal of extra space from the garment to allow the garment to properly fit the wearer. Like I said this is the removal of extra space from the garment to allow the garment to properly fit the wearer. Contouring helps the dress to follow the natural curves of the body rather than hanging loosely over the hollow areas around the bust and the shoulder blades. Now look at it. If you people notice very well, you people use your mouth to say it, that this one will fit the person properly. This one will follow the shape of the person's body. But that is what contouring is. Removing excess fabric in order to make sure that the dress follows the natural shape of the person. Contour is removing excess fabric just to make sure the dress follows the natural shape of the person, especially around the bust and shoulder area. Now this one is like the opposite. I want you people to notice something. Now notice something. Here, this one came directly straight. Are you seeing it? So look at this one. This one, there is a curve here. Now there is also a curve here. That means this one will follow the breast naturally. Breast curve is like this, but it means that this one is following the natural shape of the breast. That is contouring. This one is just like the opposite of this one. This one will remove the fullness of the material so as to achieve a better fitting, so that the clothes, the dress will follow the person's natural body shape. Why this one is that we use the dart to add extra fullness, either for our design, for design's sake, or for any other thing. We have two types of dart manipulation techniques. We already know what dart manipulation is. Do you understand? Transferring that from one position to other in order to achieve a perfect fitting and everything. Do you understand? So there are two techniques we use to manipulate in order to achieve a perfect fitting. Those two techniques are the slash and spread method and the pivot method. Do you understand? I'll be able to explain it. You see what you are seeing here is actually slash and spread method.